special people to recognize, as well as some announcements for you. Hey, I want to bring something to you that you can really use tonight. And I don't know about you, but one of the things that I did early on when I got started in this industry is I just wanted to be around successful people. I just figured out that hey, if there was a chance, if there was a place, a call, an event, or something where I could get around people that were just crushing it, I mean, making it happen. Like your upline leadership here, like Luke, like our son Brad, and so many of the other great YPR leaders. If I had a chance to be around them, I don't care what I was doing or where I was going. I was so fired up about this. I mean, I was out of college one year. I'd worked for somebody else, and I thought, you know what? I cannot see myself doing that for the next 39 years. And when this was delivered, I had no experience. I had no background. I failed at selling world's finest chocolate in high school. I mean, there was no reason why I could succeed, or I should succeed, other than the fact that a dream to be free and not to work for somebody else had been planted. And number one, and number two, I was fortunate to be mentored by some really great people, very successful people. So what I'm thinking about to share with you for the next just 3 or 4 minutes, real fast here, tonight, I said, what can I share that could be really helpful? Well, if you thought about me, or if you had time to hang with me for a day or 2 days or whatever, and you really kind of were picking my brain and trying to figure out, hey, how in the world did you ever get from where you are then to where we are today economically? If I had the chance to do that, I'd be all over it. And I'll tell you that it came down to 2 words. Number one was responsibility. The first word was responsibility, meaning I took responsibility early on for my business, meaning, hey, if things went great, great. If things didn't go great, I took responsibility for it. If enrolling was good, awesome. If enrolling was soft, I took responsibility for it, got after it, and enrolled new people myself so I could move my business ahead. But the first word, if you're taking notes, I'm just going to write couple of words down and a couple of points. The first word is responsibility. Take responsibility for your own business. It's yours. You got you have in your hands, guys, you can have. One of my great mentors passed away last week. His name was Zig Ziglar. And Zig Ziglar said, you can have this. He was made famous by this phrase, by this quote. There's another great one you should write down. He said, you can have anything that you want in life if you first, underline the word first, if you first help enough other people get what they want. And is that not what Vemma and Verve is all about? I mean, we're all about, if you've heard me talk before, I've said it over and over again, get your eyes off yourself, help somebody else, help your buddies, help your friends, help the people that you care about, that are special to you, help them make this thing a reality, and guess what? Everything else is going to fall in behind you, and of course that's part of responsibility. The second word I want you to write down is events. And I guess this would be the thought that I was thinking about before. I thought, what was the journey that took me and eventually my wife and then our kids from where we were to where we are? And if I could tell you one thing, it was getting around successful people. Like the event we've got coming up 1 month from tomorrow. January 4 and 5, right here in San Diego, our YPR leadership weekend with Bob Proctor and all of the YPR leaders that are going to be there. Of course, Royal Ambassador Brad Alkazin, of course, Ambassadors Luke and Shawnee Wilborn, Alex Morton, Star Presidential Josh Noble, Star Presidential Richard Bischoff, Presidential Leader Jeffrey Jensen, Bryce Madick. All of the elite YPR leaders are going to be here in San Diego that weekend. Now, let me give you right now just these 3 words under the word event. Because here's what events do, and if you've never been to one, you don't know. The old adage is you don't know what you don't know. How would you know that that this thing would be important? Well, Brad has built it. My son Brad has built the weekend. I'll outline it for you in a minute. But But he's built it so not only you can have a great time and be with your friends and hang out downtown San Diego, but you can be around and take advantage of an amazing 24 hours of training that's going to take place. Here are the 3 words I want you to write down. Here's what events do. Number 1, it's going to raise your belief. I don't know where you're at, if you're brand new or you've been in this or you're just frenzied or double frenzied or you want a frenzy or wherever you are. But one of the most important things is you got to believe that you can. And how do you get belief? Well, you get around a bunch of people and you see, wow, if that guy can do it, I can do it. If that gal can do it, I can do it. And so, number 1, it'll help raise your belief. Number 2, it'll improve your skills in terms of how do you act, enrolling people, but more importantly, communicating with people and helping them get started, reaching out to them. What does reaching out to people in your downline really mean? Well, we're going to teach you that. We're going to teach you what that means to support your team. Can't do it on a call, can't do it on a Skype or on a webinar. It's like a haircut. You got to be there to understand it. But number 2, we're going to improve your skills. And number 3, you're going to be inspired. You're going to get around people making crazy money at your age. People like your host tonight and leader Luke Wilborn and his wife Shawnee. People like Brad that crossed over $100,000 last month in income. Can you imagine? I mean, at 26 years old, that is crazy. It's going to inspire you. So we're going to raise your belief, we're going to improve your skills, and you're going to be inspired to go home and be a better person and build a bigger business. So it all starts Friday night, 5 o'clock. We're going to have a great food reception. Brad's planning an awesome barbecue. It's held at a very cool place downtown San Diego called the Bright Bar Hall of Champions, a sports venue with all of the great both amateur and professional sports figures throughout San Diego's history. It's a cool place. It's actually on a basketball court. You're going to love it. 7 to 10 that night, we're going to have networking and leadership training. Next day, you get to sleep in. Yahoo! You can go out to San Diego, go downtown and go out if you want to. 1 o'clock, we start with the world's renowned performance trainer, Mr. Bob Proctor. The master at helping you change your paradigm. That means change how you think about yourself. One of my mentors, Jim Rohn, said, change your thinking, change your life. And you're going to hear from one of the world's best. He is the man that's responsible for helping my son Brad double his income in 1 year, from $500,000 to $1 million in 1 year. I think you ought to learn how to do that. I think it would be wise for you to take advantage of it. And the last hour from 4 to 5, we're going to recognize everybody from bronze on up, the YPR leaders that have hit new levels. And so we're going to have a great time. It's $59 is all it is for the whole thing. And registration is live and open. Guys, this is going to sell out. It's going to be sold out. I'm telling you, there's no registration at the door because it's a food event. So go right now. It's Vemma Success Tools, 3 words all put together, VemmaSuccessTools.com/YPR Kickoff. YPR Kickoff. VemmaSuccessTools.com/YPR Kickoff. It's going to be a phenomenal time. Get registered. We're going to have an amazing time. Luke, I'm going to turn it back to you, buddy. Thanks for letting me come on and share a few thoughts. You guys have a great rest of the call. And Luke, I'm proud of you, man. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Big Dog. Yeah, I screwed up your introduction a little bit. I didn't add that you're the Oracle.
Well, Brad calls me Yoda. I don't know. So, from Star Wars, I guess, people say I'll try, and I've got to say, no try, do. That's what Yoda would say.
Only do. But you don't look like him, so that's the good news.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thanks for coming on here.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, guys. Well, no question why he makes the income he makes, and, it is exciting, and his story has always inspired me, how he got started at such a young age, and in an age where there was no Skype, and there was no Google Plus, and there's no Uvu, there's no Facebook, and how the economy back then was better than it is now, and all these different things, and he still managed it, so hats off to him for what he's done. None of us would be on this call if it wasn't for Tom and his wife Bethany, and obviously Brad, and so on and so on. So I always appreciate him and what he does. For instance, we would not be on this call right now if I wouldn't have met with him last Saturday. So he's always there to critique us and help us grow. So, guys, in closing here, we've been on the phone for about 15 minutes or so. My portion of this is you got a lot from the big guy here, but my portion of this, guys, is there is plenty of excitement in many of the groups. I'm excited for that. Obviously, very proud. You guys are kicking butt. There's a lot of enrollment. I mean, guys, my business last week, because of you, we added about 500 people last week. I mean, it was a big week. I've never had that many people in a week, but, so here's the good news. It's working. We're all getting the checks. A lot of us are moving forward and stuff, but it's not just about that. I love how Tom brought in that taking responsibility. So, number one, taking responsibility for your business. I mean, we're all here to get results. And not only do we want to make those big upfront checks, guys, like the fancy bonus and get the car and stuff, but I don't know about you, but I want to have a long-lasting, sustainable income that I can build a life on. For you guys, obviously, eventually, you would eventually name a family and buy a house and do a lot of stuff when you guys get to that age. But, this is something long-term, next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I want to have a ridiculous cash flow coming in, and I want you guys to have the same thing. So, yes, it's about enrollment. And I've asked you, I've said this for those of you that have been on my calls, and then for maybe the few of you that get up at 9 a.m. and you're on Tom's calls. Wouldn't it be great to hear that guy every Saturday? That's what we've been dealing with, guys. And you know what? He does a training call every Saturday, and they're always amazing. So I know it's early. Get up, roll over, put on a speakerphone, listen in, guys. But the point is, it's not just about enrolling. When he's saying take responsibility for everything. He said when enrolling is good, it's good. It's easy to take responsibility for that. When enrolling is down, it's down. And what do you do in that situation? You got to regroup, talk to someone offline, get encouraged, and we're going to tell you kind of the fundamentals of getting back on your feet. I want you guys to know that a lot of the success stories you guys hear about people blowing it up. BK's on there all the time, blowing up on Facebook. This guy went 0 to hero in 2 days or whatever. Obviously not that quick, but for me, guys, it wasn't that fast. And I was kind of talking yesterday on my training call a little bit, so I apologize if you're on that again. But I appreciate every single group, every single style of building. It doesn't always happen overnight for this person. You hear these stories on Facebook, you see the success, and you're like, dang, I didn't get my car in 30 days. I didn't get my car in 2 months. I didn't make, $20,000 my first week. So it's like, what is normal? There's a lot of different emotions that creates when we see that thing, when we see those posts. Reality, most people don't build that quick, and that's fine. Hey guys, if you looked at Brad's track record, I think he says it took him 9 months or so to hit diamond. I believe that. It's not even longer. It took me over a year to hit diamond. We weren't engaged like you guys are now, but regardless, no excuses. My point is, it's not how you start; it's where you end up. It's all about the journey. There's a guy in Vemma, guys, named Jeff Hooks, and he told me, I went to a training event, and I heard this one little thing. When you show up to these events, like the one coming up for Bob Proctor, one thing could stick with you that makes the whole trip worthwhile. One thing, I remember this guy, Jeff Hooks, he says, embrace. I was struggling, and I'm like kind of getting frustrated. He says, embrace the journey. It's going to happen, guys. People get in this thing, they think it's going to happen overnight. So my voice tonight, guys, is stay encouraged. Understand that your journey is different from anybody else's. No one's going to, compare you to anyone else. And I'm trying to just give that person hope that's like, man, it's not happening for me. Guys, forever is a long time. Forever is a long time. If you give up on this thing, you could be regretful forever. And what I couldn't get over was the fact that if I didn't do this, I didn't know how I was going to get to the big bucks. I mean, yeah, maybe I would have thought of something, but right now in the economy, and you guys know there's a whole gig. That's why we're in Vemma, because it's so turnkey and simple. There's no way I could give this up. So taking responsibility of your dreams, you guys, coming back to the table, learning to, Tom talks about Jim Rohn. He says, learning to discipline your disappointment. That's another Jim Rohn quote. He says, don't just get disappointed. Learn to discipline your disappointment. So if you're disappointed tonight, guys, let's take that energy and go back to the drawing table. Figure out why you're in the business. Get back to that point when you're excited and you're able to tell this thing with that sparkle in your eye and people are excited to hear about it. And getting around those successful people, you guys, listening and calling the upline, we're here to support you. We're here to help you in your success. Support. Now, here, I'm going to switch gears a little bit.